And you say your money who to say a BC day, Nadia Mammy, and no one. You bet Mabusan say, Mamma, yes, spouse.
Oh, of course.
It's what you're
one of the surviving spouse.
Be Musa say, or you're one of the survivors, and also when you're one of the survivors. I know Musa saw you the only spouse. Me say, Mamma, or your spouse, and
I'm sorry, one of the survivors.
And I'm saying, Musa say, or you're one, and also you're the only spouse. Definitely, your properties are a Lumba and Akosua say one year. And your properties in Sweden, Lumba, and then Odobruni, and I think they be any informing the interior. Say, under the Ghanaian law, the Wills Act. 1971 at 360 no. Okay, ni na baby no wa e kire the duration a obi free ma e de kan will.
Okay.
Say bia owu ne. Nti acha 2 days yanko kan will.
Yeah, Matias. There's no duration.
Yes. But you kwan ye fa so. But ye kwan ye fa so a executor no be fa so a obehwe atotototo nyoma na will no ya ye. One, say wo bo no to fa. I also locate say indeed there is a will. Lawyer Kusi with his experience and with the guidance now the man a client per what he told us Monday send the client by no babechiano lawyer no or mu review documents be and advice also the man as a lawyer no the man no call you know penny experience in the conversation with your colleagues or industry or more sector name no any adin he would want to test
so I'm
no say will be shawa na say will be shawa
okay well
ni evidence for front and na the last one cry and to share inside the normal arranging na omo priorities.
So they are
yes, omo can say chinchina new you know no deba omo priorities into her number 4 now the men just get the next one now number 4 no say additional grounds will be found upon receipt of the records of appeal.
Okay.
Until hono de dru ha na be kire say ye be ma omo de aba na mo baba bi omo gina de hono omo gina omo ni omo nyina gina 1 2 and 3 no so. Okay. The Wills Act. Your Wills Act go.
Okay.
Things that Wills Act and yes, now okay, you be me person me clarify. Now when we were talking about the estate.
Okay.
On say in as much as person will take you over the assets. Na ye be the properties, the lands and other stuff no no mo be we no. Sound so na nipa na we free no. It could be say we free no they can call here.
The above until on Monday evening they say an appeal has been filed.
Yes.
From Yamami Akosua Serwaa a camp. Appeal no manager say I already am patcho me hu appeal ni bi. Anyway appeal na nkasa. Yeah. Yes, appeal has been filed against ruling about on the 28th November 2025. Say one Yamami Akosua one Odobroni nyina yere no. Appeal has been filed. Ewo appeal court. So more challenging that ruling no. Meaning you bet my ready. Kwa who phone so I bet my ready. Hana say too dim.
Yeah.
Mr. Boss but so be oh.
Yes, be wa but
image maybe.
Yes.
Maybe image na wo so no dey.
How no manager you can read it.
To be frank.
It's true MI.
I think
Serwaa.
Okay, so
Mami the Mr. Bones so.
Notice of appeal.
Notice for okay maybe. I mean Mr. Bones is here.
All right. Please take notice.
All right.
That the plaintiff hearing being aggrieved and dissatisfied with the judgment of the High Court, Kumasi, more particularly, stated herein and contained in the judgment of His Ladyship Justice Dorinda Smith Arthur, sitting at the High Court, Kumasi, dated on the 28th day of November 2025.
Okay.
Do hereby appeal to the court appeal against the decision upon the grounds set out in paragraph 3 and will at the hearing of the appeal seek the release act out in paragraph 4. The plaintiff further states that the name and address for the service with the jurisdiction of the persons directly affected by the appeal are those set out in paragraph 5. The King no Supremo defendant no plaintiff no Mame Akosua Serwaa versus defendant 1 Abusua Penny Kofusu. Defendant 2 Priscilla Ofori Odobroni and the defendant 3 Transitions Funeral Home Kofowe. And the Supremo notice of appeal no makano. Samen to us part 2 now. So part of the judgment of trial court complained of that is the part 2.
Notice of appeal basically they are trying to say judgment na ye mame Dorinda
Smith Arthur Dorinda Smith Arthur
Dorinda. Okay. Omunyum say judgment na nkoyie omunyintum eti appeal court no and set the entire judgment aside. I think we'll go to us way.
2. Part of the judgment of trial court complained of.
Okay.
1. The whole of the judgment of the High Court, Kumasi, dated the 28th day of November 2025.
So the whole judgment, they set everything aside?
Yes.
And tell everything aside? Okay.
Yeah. 3. Grounds of appeal.
Okay.
1. The High Court erred when it held that the marriage certificate, Exhibit B, B1, and B2 was not admissible per se.
All right. Into your grounds for appeal, and say, yeah, Mama Dorinda, I catch almost say, marriage certificate, which is B1 and B2 no must submit, what you too many and admissible.
Yeah.
It's no, almost say because yeah, Mama, ladyship cast 1 year 2 minutes, and your grounds enough say, almost feel say, yeah, appeal the entire judgment. I think honest on me.
The court again erred when it held that Section 161 of the Evidence Act is a condition precedent for putting weight on an admitted document.
All right. It is a mokaya judgment. Mekayim Samun Zini in Abachere. Her ladyship catcher is Evidence Act. Section 161. What do you mean by personal? As long as you don't go through it, on the document beyond tomorrow. Almost you know, someone is a court, a making mistake or moon tiase mistake because
3. The court again erred when it held that the evidence and admitted by the defendants was more credible than that of the evidence of the plaintiff.
All right, it's Mokaya. Third president, ladyship Kasai, or Chilem, say, Odubroni Niaman or the buy and Ojitum.
Yeah,
and the Yama Yakusa say 1 name be a 1 year tomb. Thomas say, Omuntias is here, Jacase, Yama Odubroni, evidence or the buy. Mood drew, as soon as Yama Yakusa say 1 name or the buy. No, so Omutimutino.
Yeah, 4. Additional grounds will be filed upon receipt of the records of appeal.
All right, so for more 3 grounds number. And on just the first one, the first one is so recent. You almost more appeal here. Almost when you to some certificate. I was just a what about court. Yeah, and only 1 reason. Second reason, I almost want more appeal. And I say, Evidence Act now. You catch it almost say because of the Evidence Act, no man go through procedure. It's a document here in Tumno. And also, when you judge because I said, it's also more appeal. And one third reason, and I say, you mean the Asamaba? Yamma was just a what in the Abba. Odobro ndi evidence aba ya ji odobro ndi ya ratum ene egbo akuja se wade egu eno so muni ndi ntie wo setimi sisa eti these are the 3 reasons a omo de ba na omo se so omo omunya receipt se records no ya omo go ahead with the file and everything na omo de aka nyina no ebebre court
supremo nti so study a de kan nyina 1 a notice of appeal and number 2 a part of the judgment of the trial court complained of no no omo ka say ni na
against the judgment
and omo ka say yen start bibia and na 3 no so grounds of appeal yen na ye bobo so ya eno no ye mako 9 siafe ne ye ko number 4
okay
what you say so the 4th one here reliefs sought from the court of appeal
nti the ompese court of appeal ni nyamo
exactly
okay
yeah
all right
1 okay, 1 and 10 that the whole judgment of the High Court be set aside and judgment be entered in favor of the plaintiff.
It's first of all, the Omupa is a judge na yema the leadership during the Atta Smith, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, Bola, yentum.
Yes.
Na yentum say the plaintiff ni yema no de buy na numum ene
Fair.
As simple as that.
Yes.
The Omupa appeal court yema mo no.
Yes.
Simple, sharp, quick. There will be an okay. I say, Tama. Trump cars or
Nigeria no I'll say it will be fast, swift and sweet. So guys o men yan say no mo di na. Oba be twa omuja the be fast Venezuela mponi na mo.
You need 20 minutes so.
Supreme 5.
Abuja lazy shito so say brabaji o shito. Enkwaya bi school. Ubane ku school mo nya fe na akọ ne nam na mekoto sama ba ye ba be si. Quadrilization to simple. Yashishano pack. Whatever aqua, or the animal didn't come up. Yen bebrains, one like I say, and what tea and was here say the be. Quadrilization to GBC fee na also nya aduane bi a wodi adi and one acrobat mu nyina obi adi your friend lazy shito your number no 0501683344 0501550999 numbers near for more person to wholesale no and yes I dey abure ni supermarket shop bia kokwaje lazy shito na fadi ujuma bia opese odidi 5
persons directly affected by the appeal.
Okay, in the appeal nipa affect you one kasani.
One, abusu apeni kofusu. Ebu akwa kumase.
Ejawusu. Na je to park let's say ko odwin hu.
Aya for ebu akwa no soso. You will be of Fantini town, you will be but you ebu akwa de no. You cry mo wan house number na answer number 2. Prince Lofori. Okay, Odobroni, Accra.
Odobroni. Okay.
3. Transitions Funeral Home, aka Enterprise Funeral Service. From Ojuma Mbe ya jo mudi ano mayi.
Omo waji mudi there.
Yeah.
Say obi de body be ko.
Almost so hacho.
Shebe funu so ma me keke na ti de bi mu gira court here. Okay.
Almost so hacho.
All right. It's this and omko file.
Yes.
But on that same day no. They entered another application.
Oh,
which was very silent.
Okay.
Application on from the letter of application. Manager batch of bitos mam na me omo mu bi no. No mo letter of application no. Very good.
Administration.
Letter of administration. Not will annexed in the High Court of Ghana. Senate here. Zoom in my na omo mu senate chiro no. Senate okwa senate here.
Yeah.
Very good. Kosoro, yes. Be it known that on the no for about date in BBR letter of registration of personal property of Nipana late of Nwabonidi deceased who died on now the day show day of date another date it's and died at interstate it was an interstate we abra one will who had at the time of death his fixed place of abode at the East Legon and Shawama, 16 bedroom. We don't run in a manatino. You see a condition going within the jurisdiction of this court were granted by the court to near the Yamamia Kusedi Sewedian show of near the Trasso. There was a sanity, brother, having been first duly sworn, seal of court near register near Saint Pine. And it was just a whole file where purpose is simple. Yeah, for the say, Ukunu. What this she be when I next of kin. But unfortunately, Nippon we when ya will be but I was said ya can estate ye chese the jeopardy or bear as a boy and why it's say we had the Lumba Nifia Wesisi is part of the estate, the farms are is part of the estate. I was just honest the manager they are just one the jeopardy is part of the estate. And if you was to Germany, one out of is part of the estate. Le baby, what ne companies are what is part of the estate. Ne Sasia is part of the Casa or ne Juma will be a beer. Nina part of the estate. It is a Nippon that's when you will. What you do, and say Nippana, we had the nest of kin. A file. Say moon far away, mamma, I may so as you administer it until the timer. You never get to near change a padien, and now say Constitution Court, ebe issue the interstate succession law, 1991, right?
Yes.
And then 1992.
Debbie. 1992, sorry, 1992.
Normally, I change a padien. It's for the meantime, I should be in charge. Me making sure, the radio station process in a court account, it is safe. And then where the mama rent, the people are paying the money, it is safe. And the farms way supervisors and your two or the right time, or move fertilizer, you provide your momo, ne cast way, Juma. Everything is in order, Juma. I was about mathematics. And no, I am a Akosua say, I file that particular day on Monday. Say, and also so no, yam hand over Bibia informant because she is the only surviving spouse of the late Daddy Lumba. On Tuesday, and a judge cast away the women the quick emergency. Judge Tanaso, or Tanaso no, and review here. A one a year Odobroni, a year Prisla, ne lawyers about court. On by no say, oh, Abuja, lawyer, judge. Ya file Bibia, Abuja, judge, say, lawyers, no friend, the caveats. And no file something like some sort of a warning to the court say, before we be the same way, no. just a me side of the story first. It's one me side of the story. You can't grant anything to anybody. And no, one of the issue. And secondly, as it stands now, as long as the ruling of the 28th November 2025 has not been overturned, say people go through, say as long as it has not been overturned, the wives, the surviving spouses of dead Lumba are Akosua, Serwaa, and Odobroni. Until said that judgment is turned down. Yet means now one can say, Yanfa Bakunkuma, Yanfa Kuma because one had the surviving spouse. And Kodan chain. The only means and ways are letter of administration is when the person died interstate. That is Nipani Wunwanya well. But we are hearing different because Ebekaya, dead Lumba lawyers at the statement Babon, they say, oh, dead Lumba was says in a cheap. Quaya emphasis on Chewy, quaya emphasis on Sieno, quaya for the month to 2 years. And no, it is there. And until said those people who come clear, I'm young. You can't grant any letter of administration to Mammy Akosua Serwaa. Judge so Tanasubium or review here and also. And someone can make it very logic. This ruling has been suspended indefinitely. And if on law of one is a sine die, you are suspending indefinitely. Monko, now the Monko Trefi. Me ko dwen ho actually wo de say me frame am mo but indefinitely must suspend the issue. That is so far the outcome bad. That was on Tuesday. But as for the appeal no there abusia yinya ntana so mpo menim so ma assign judge mpo to it because Monday ya no mko file here. We are yet to see what will come out of it. But letter of administration na Mama Akosua say wa ko pray here there abusia I say I am one eye eti kwaku de appeal mu say no eti ni huma bi kan ko mra wa ansa na
Mr. Poster by the no aba supremo be that say
am for kasa biem
say
am for kasa say appeal fair enough because most people are saying that when it comes to the issue of appeal, rarely do you see the presiding judge allowing any new evidence because what the case we have a court say me demand media judge media say me no see am go entia it is what say when or review evidence when in here it is an tie dia o de come before judges do not allow new evidence because when new evidence one farmer judge back when you one case no evidence na wo no and no one am say page dia kwa appeal am force you my lawyer kusi ana wonim na kokoro de John no ye maami ya na enu konko dan chen yes nti wo person kire sensem a eye odobro ni lawyers be kan yi na wonim say we want to win because
okay material can
before we know lawyers has the lawyers told you say we will be anywhere and we are 28th November judgment and setting aside to know why do you go ahead to say somebody is still the only surviving spouse?
It means starting free appeal, no?
It is starting free, maybe free.
Okay, Supreme when and assurance as na the be a one so you must say ya banon do so na effect. And then my must YouTube you move the man with the pen ya try to near there. Yes, I know many age. I just say it means that they are following. You the guests and so bad no many age. International shout out once again to Russia. Now Supreme Assembly na wokan em won kakra. Appeal na asem na wokan.
Yeah.
I understand where you are coming from. Say appeal there. I na hardly and e bia ye be ma won kwan say for new evidence bra. But no so nchese ntim ma for new evidence am. However, ade o ma nyina kin kan yi. Wada ma na akofa nkrata e ba. Me kwa de na me hu bi.
Yes.
Me hu bi una akofa nkrata e ba nti sanka manager say dum ye biem na so wasa de appeal no to so a. Grounds for appeal no. Omo kire nyoma omo gina so de aye appeal ni nyina and new evidence for no and na last one kra and to share inside the normal arranging na omo priorities
so the
yes omo can say chinchina new you know no dey ba omo priorities into number 4 na the manager get the next one na number 4 no can say additional grounds will be found upon receipt of the records of appeal.
Okay.
Enti hono de duru ho na be kire say ye be ma omo de aba na mo ba ba bi omo gina de hono omo gina omo ni omo nyina gina 1 2 and 3 no so.
Okay.
And they feel say her leadership during that Smith Arthur said do a kwan bi ofa so edi asem no omo nani nje ho which is in their right so omo be kan say so omo nani nje ho ana omo state so omo nkofa bibi mfiri abonten chen bi amai ensem na no machirim say ensem A B C that is 1 2 and 3 sanse mi nyina no ekwan amaame ne fa so ne edi ne ndi ne enti ensem nyina no so ne ndi asem no na mbe client o I don't think Sana lawyer kusini ne dwuma ye for the appeal ne kwa akotum no mo ba be ka say yendi asem no nanko odobroni ho
okay
ana yendi nanko abusu apani ho no ene na appeal no mo ko no wono mo ko ne say so it is omo ankasa right ana omo say de omo sidi ni supreme ho no I think say kakra meka e de afa ho eno no supreme on the issue of real nasem no me na enya me wa
okay
some lawyer personally na my client abame ho enemy din komo efa sa anyoma we ho a ebia anka me de lawyer kusi eye no one na busu one ne ko 14 say definitely omo take decision say ono nko take decision ono yema amia kusu ase wa be
oh yes of course
what you say yes and eye me dan so say wo chire mu administrator letter of administration na chire say nipa no wonye we la obi betimi apply and mind you in our law you can apply.
Oh, of course,
what you say? But say apply and why bit me apply. Or more bit me apply no. Typically, spouse bit me apply. Sounds na children bit me apply. Sounds na parents bit me apply. And any other relatives be of the deceased, the mama and nesting abram obi bit me apply. Into the SA, enya wanwa. And you say your money you to say a busy day, na dia na mami ye na enya wanwa dey bet me busa say mama ni spouse na
oh of course
it's what you to so surviving spouse there be me musa say or you one of the surviving and also one of the surviving me ana me musa so you the only spouse me say mama no or your spouse na
na me say one of the surviving
ana me say me musa say or you one and also you the only spouse no me can say man kasa mama no the only spouse na and what ka tell me so you one of the surviving spouse me to me WCCA and this WCCA paid the judgment on the 28th day of November 2025.
Yes.
Said date near the same day.
The 28th.
I know, but hey. And if you are mean bias towards Mamia Kusia Serwaa and now Odo Bruni, which I haven't been. The minimum say Odo Bruni is a spouse.
Yes.
The minimum say Mamia Kusia Serwaa is a spouse.
Yes.
After what the mention I say. So me koka say Odo Bruni is the only surviving spouse.
Why mistake?
Hono na obebem. Abega so you one of the surviving spouse.
Of course.
Enti na man kan say no. Oh your spouse. Enti no per de embra ne kire no. Ya maame no. So otimi apply.
Of course otimi apply.
Exactly. Boni bi ensi no ho kwan. Sound so na wo hwe the Wills Act. Your Wills Act go.
Okay.
Things that was at yes, now okay, you be me clarify. Now when we were talking about the estate.
Okay.
On say in as much as one person will take you over the assets, the properties, the lands and other stuff no normal be we no. Sounds so nipa na wo free no. It could be say wo free no, they can call
Print consumer services, especially the air condition and solar fans from Canyon product area. The be me do one dance here say air condition say open individual, open schools, real estates, hospitals, bebre na mope ni nyina na your packages e de ma mope one so into package o. Ya tete ne ma no so se na be obi abetimi ayisu bi. E bo no so no your flexible payment plan for omo mpese omo tododo ni nyina no. Warranty 2 years warranty. Be je de na fadi juma bia obeso udidi bia nti your number is 0244 744 668 and 0266 33911. Your phrase Secprin Consumer Services. Send a message na yamwa na bibia enyo okay. Kwagu. Oh yeah,
so it will form part of it. So it will form part of it. Enti wakwaje busia bi ebi anu ohun say savings and loans bi ten. And so no be who Mr. Bones.
Yes.
So Mr. Bones dey do ebi am me won prekofo bi wo akira say won so minim so won preko ho aduane. Enti no maminuane ni bi na me fa nkoma me preko busumi nsia achi. Mr. Bones be ba cast word meka.
Yes. Na sentina.
Sometimes
yes, ye pe we na mande buka na.
Yes.
Obi do card that day no ba.
Yes.
And then the sika wo so aye that day be bo.
Yes.
Na me sika mo mpacho ni.
Yes.
Mpacho no de meka na wa kira prove am. And then you move on.
Sometimes ekwa kokosi say ebukura na nyuma bebrebe o we na ye bobo say yes wo fu we wo ha yes wo radio station yes we ebukura na wo de talker. It was the talker ni nyina bambi. Yes, ni nyina bambi. It's very very important. But na make can say under the Ghanaian law the Wills Act 1971 at 360 no okay ni na baby enu ho a ekire the duration a obi free ma de kan will
okay
say bia owu ne nti acha 2 days yanko kan will
yeah Matias there's no duration
yes but ye wo kwan ye fa so but ye kwan ye fa so a executor no be fa so a obehwe atotototo nyoma na will no ya yi one say wo bo no to fa I also locate say indeed there is a will what you say Oria obe apply for probate or apply for probate nature say okay yes say supremo air condition supremo microphone or we obe hwa hu say ni na ampa e valid at the corner or ampa because aside the will no I was see hu say Japade na oni yes ye real so na fe asan so abo beneficiaries nyina amane
say you identify ni na Japade ni nyina
tie metra se nka
metra se
supremo dey ntia make say ade na lawyer kusi aye no enye me wanwa no afi na me betire on set time papa ni free mo no an ye didi nkomo ade achi ade se ye didi nkomo nyina na asme da bonten an se da Lumba wo will
and yeah, that has always been a conversation
yes but a bit more ba say on the client no so e bia no mo doubt say will be wo supremo
okay
what you say because ni ba hu
ebia na
kasa na nam from one here because no be den nsa kwa kwose bibia so which I know say oh there be supremo yes you are not being fair to me I also mama no see because until me ba be kase which I don't believe say anybody close to that Lumba will do that until also mama no see because what come no say maybe so mama no ensi na so be here na say na you know etiko kakra bi obeka say de na kwaku kan o ya agenda which I don't want to. Then many agenda back to say. Many agenda back to say.
Okay.
So I feel say lawyer Kusi with his experience and with the guidance now of the man client per what he told us Monday send the client by no babechiano lawyer no bechiano lawyer no or more review documents be and advice also the man as a lawyer no the man no call you know. Penny experience no conversation with your colleagues in the industry or more sector no any adin he would want to test. No, say will be Serwaa na say will be Serwaa.
Okay, well.
After the matter the mention say it's in testing whether say there is a will and I say there is no will no. Obetima advising the client na or ye espouse to that Lumba no. Per the judgment no. Say file letter of administration here had Enti ade na papa na ye no. I applaud him. He's too smart. The lawyer is too smart. What you say? Enu ade we ye si ebe yin no pie so I'm also equally not surprised. Say a call, you know, a day pay free by. I say a friend says, "Sinner again."
Sinner.
Yes, one say a friend. Yes, say back. They are until you see indefinitely. But indefinitely, no one say, "More be intimate and confirm what's
oh well."
It is said those cars say, "Ya bad not to work." Said those cars and Supremo. Oh, Supremo can you? Oh, and no can you? Supremo. Okay, what's the idea? Supremo. It should tell you something. You intimate you don't cry anymore to think crying. What they've done. Could be another season for crab. Oh, that be me for free appeal. And I'm the about because that is what you asked me. I want to be some so will be for free.
Three things were mentioned. Three things. Filing for letter of administration without consent of the opposing force. No. And then no file a caveat or something like that.
Yes.
And one. I don't hear. I mean, who's what touch you on that? Okay.
And in filing, no. Mind you, Odobroni press lofori. And yan a lawyer and a lawyer kusi. Or one lawyers.
Oh yes.
And no tin and lawyers and also being smart, having heard of what has happened.
So both lawyers have
Supremo. Me tell me catch you say. I didn't say your own. And you see a janice. I am my lawyers in the domo bay. And you fancy dear more. I deal with ye see. Yako 1 year. Me say law students. And ya dear a bishop your marriage system or no. Ama nyoma de diama going forward no mistakes nketen bia na ekoso bia no sa no mani nyina echi bekata in the next 5 years to
I suspect obi okra or area say onim say your letter of administration
exactly
but we are not be
what you
say we your spouse
yes
you fan say we bema now we reframe and we ba na kunu frame and we child na kunu na say papa na mama frame na Japade na say nima wo no you can file for letter of administration na ekono yes ye de ma wa na wetima ginu ma hwehwe nima it no
and so no say in say well and so no mention will be a friend executor
yes it's in the absence of that in the letter of administration
exactly and so far per the omo na yo no omo person omo kire say yenti execute bi anka.
Okay.
Nti ade no mind strategically Supremo they are just being smart.
No, it makes sense.
Omo be jam nyoma to say dey be nyoma be play out.
It makes sense.
Who said there nyoma esiko. So I feel say
it makes so much sense. A bien many.
Yeah.
Ebia for all you know, or no kana mo
Yes.
Or no mo
yes.
But they say minim say Lumba on the lawyers before he died.
Yes. And we know that for a fact.
Yes.
So
No. The lawyers should do the needful.
Yes.
If indeed there's a letter, I expect them say they will write to all the appropriate quarters, the right people. Say, Papa ne kono jabibi say, it's yeah, the lawyers.
I think said they are also going through the process. And anything I mention, sir, me summarize say in my say, any time frame, if you okay, let's identify the properties. Let's make sure say the set and send inform beneficiaries no. And if we also one way or the other no, indirectly or more try some be putting pressure on them. Some more year you may be crass munyan them. What I say? Na emadi obi anya na so nje na afi bibia anya Supremo.
So Mrs. Yana come na to net to me. Bina 3P garlic misano. Abua me pa.
That's a miracle be wadrono. Just a mafuno praise and you see Chimmy and Casame Umi is success me Umi and is so because the dear baby shame is subino. Ya noma. Me be pinate no tipa me sa destiny. I don't know that the young body. I be a holding to my answer to an with a metro catch on. Me find shaman kwana.
Mediabe. As 3 years in Anna, as a Medinawa, the name was Sinas and Mqua, with the Amako, the almost so much medru. I bet 6 years in you. Sama, the Majesty and the Medina. Taya and Kumi Preco. And then 4 days, and I'm a coto, 3 guys in the stand. So I'm a cousin and coupon when I'm there, and they have no castle. No one told me, but you want to catch it.
3P garlic mystery. Ubenyabi wa memu pharmaceutical shops and herbal shops. Fred Piwak ewa 024-89-288-24 and 020-100-002.